Happy Friday, everyone. As you can see, I'm joined here by one of our new strategic partners from Hightower. And this week, we're going to talk about some of those value-added services and the items that I'm really excited that we're going to be able to bring to bear for our clients. Scott, we've done a couple of these videos, so the clients have gotten used to seeing your face. But just for those of you that maybe this is your first one watching, Scott Holsopple, Chief Growth Officer, Hightower Advisors. And this week we're going to talk about some of the solutions that Hightower can bring to bear, not only for us on the back end. I know that's what we've talked with clients a lot about, is how much of the energy and efficiencies that not only are you going to create on the back end, but take some of the things off of our plates. But there's also a lot that you're going to be giving us in terms of tools that we can utilize with clients. Now, I know there's a lot of them. I'll let you get into that. But right off the bat, one that I know we've talked about for a long time internally, how do we address something like a national trust company, among other things? So Scott, tell us a little bit more about how you see advisors plugging into all the solutions that you can bring to bear.
Yep, and I think you mentioned it. You know, when you start talking to Hightower, I think what begins to resonate is like, oh, they're going to take things off my plate that need to be done well, but kind of distract me from either growing the business, serving clients, things like that. And I think that usually grabs people's attention. And then once they start to get to know us and talk and learn more about Hightower, I think what they also see is how we can extend the value proposition for the business. You brought up the National Trust Company. You know, it came to us through another partnership. It was a Texas State Chartered Trust Company. We spent quite a bit of money transitioning it over to a nationally chartered trust company. And that was really because we wanted our advisors to be able to take advantage of it and have that within Hightower, right? So they can still choose to use another trust company if they want, or they can say, hey, we're all part of Hightower. I see the value of bringing this all into a common service model, common value proposition. And so, you know, some of our clients it'll make total sense for. And I think that's how we think about it at Hightower, which is what can we build out for our advisors that maybe they wouldn't do on their own? Right?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And I know on our end, sure, there's some of those more kind of core competencies that you can help with around trust, estate, you know, tax, insurance, all of those pieces that I feel like sometimes we're spitting and gluing together. Now, there's also a lot of those more, if I want to call them soft services, you know, whether it's, you know, I'm even talking challenges with mental health, death and disease. Talk to us a little bit more about what that looks like within the universe of Hightower.
Yeah, we think about it the same way, which is, you know, we have the capability of building a national trust company or an estate and financial planning team. You know, we also have the way to think about marketing in a totally different way. So our marketing team is 20 plus people that's really here to explore not only kind of marketing strategies, but content that will resonate with clients. And it's content that goes back to the culture and back to looking beyond the financial situation of somebody's life and thinking what else might be impacting them. You know, one of the causes that we care about a lot at Hightower is just mental health in general. You know, I think in the past, maybe it had a different, you know, kind of connotation to it. I think more people are recognizing that our mental health, you know, impacts us and our families in significant ways. And so we can develop content around mental health that might be useful for some of your clients. When you see the opportunity to engage with a client and pass along some information, you'll have that ready to do rather than having to go and do the research yourself.
100%. I got a designation last year as a registered life planner because there's so much more than just the traditional financial planning. Math is certainly a key component of it, but we've always taken the approach of the more we can understand who the client is at the core, what makes them tick, what those fears are, the better we're going to be.
That's right.
And for us, as we've talked about with this partnership with Hightower, what we really looked at was, you know, a lot of these back-end services that we talked about and taking some of that burden off of us. But it was also about us, you know, putting a little of the ego aside at the door and saying, hey, maybe we're not the greatest at every aspect of what we do. And if we can plug into a partner that hopefully for a lot of you, you'll see even some of the front end services that Hightower will bring to bear. It's going to give us more, if I want to call them arrows in the quiver on your behalf. So Scott, again, thank you for joining us. All of these value added services, I'm looking forward, and we at 10 Capital are looking forward to rolling out in the coming months and years. And again, as always, thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend.